Welcome to Bamble, a podcast about nothing in particular. My name's Taz.
And I'm Kirsten.
And here we are sitting on a nice, beautiful day where I can barely see the sunlight, and that's the way I like it.
Yep, you are a creepy hermit.
I am a creepy hermit. I want to put really, really dark, thick black fabric over all the windows in the house and block out all the light.
Now, you might think he's being really goth right now, but Taz has incredibly sensitive eyes.
I just don't like the light. I don't like it. I prefer the dark. It's easier there.
You sound so emo right now.
Bringing 2006 back. We're bringing it back. What do you want to talk about today, Kirsten?
What do you want to talk about today, Tasman?
I don't know.
Do you think Satan might have been an alien?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
That was my shower thought the other day was,
Yeah.
The stories all say he fell from heaven.
Okay.
And I think he was like a disgruntled employee who got fired from the observation ship that was monitoring Earth.
That's the best.
Because, yeah, he was really angry about it. He was all like, they cast me out. And obviously people are like, oh, he's a god of some sort. But it was like Kevin from accounting who's just really pissed off he got fired.
And the surface of Earth is like political Siberia. We're done with you.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, just off he goes, Or maybe he wanted to, because people are giving him a lot more credit. They were like, oh, he was like Prometheus. He came down and shared knowledge with the people.
True.
So, they're trying to make out that, Satan was actually a really good guy who gave knowledge to people and got Adam and Eve out of their Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, I like it.
What do you call it? Garden of Eden?
Their little prison.
Yeah, their little perfect prison.
He's just done the typical
Stepford Wives kind of thing. Everything's perfect here.
He's done that typical thing that disgruntled employees do. He's stolen a whole bunch of stuff on the way out.
Yes!
He's grabbed a whole bunch of chemicals that give people powers, and he's like, oh, I'll give people some powers and make them my lieutenants, which is like his little demon buddies. This guy can fly. Oh, that's Serum Z315. Excellent.
What I was thinking as well is that maybe they're not like corporeal beings, these particular aliens.
Oh, okay.
And he fell in like an area with a bunch of random animals. Oh. So there was like a goat and...
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why the devil looks like he does. He's just cast it around and just going, okay, I'll take a bit of that and a bit of that. And he's like, yeah, this seems normal. I'm blending in perfectly.
Time to blend in. Hello, life form. Meh. Perfect.
I'll have your head and your body.
There's like a bat flying by in the daytime for some reason. Oh, I like those wings.
That is cool.
Just mix this together.
Yep.
I am the most powerful.
He's just he's so bad at his job. He's like, yeah, I'm going to pass beautifully.
Oh, and that would explain all the negativity in the Bible about the devil because, I don't know what we're calling Lucifer. We'll go with Lucifer. That was his name on the space station. Because the rest of his fellow aliens are still sticking to the tenets of don't interact with society directly. Like, we need to get the word out that Lucifer's bad news. Let's write a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Send down some pamphlets. He's bad, guys.
And like the burning bush and stuff was all just aliens going, oh yes, we're speaking from you. And there's like a telecommunications device
like
inside
a little holy projector. It's flickering. Don't pay any attention to that. Devil bad.
The
God
devil
good.
Very, very bad.
But he offered me some powers. They are bad powers. You will go to hell. Yes, you'll go to hell.
It's like, just Keith wandering around going, stupid guys, kick me out. I'm going to be really mad forever. And just tells whoever he talks to because that's why his story is so prolific about him being cast out from heaven. He's just this really, really salty guy.
What if he's the Chad? He's like the party dude, which is why it's always like sin and hedonism. Like, oh, he just wants to get drunk and bone all the time. He's like, party on, dude, let's do it.
He was actually like, it was nepotism and he was only hired because he was the nephew of the guy.
He was! Oh my God.
And they just got sick of him. They were like, get out.
Lucifer's like stapling his hand to the desk again. Why do we have that guy here? He's related to the boss. Oh, of course he is. Of course he's related to the boss. So what are the aliens doing there in their space station?
Oh, they're just here to like monitor. Well, that was another idea I was having, right?
Yeah.
You know how they are always into the butt probing?
Apparently so.
Okay, so that's the thing. That's a given. Everyone talks about the butt probe.
They love the
and
butts.
it doesn't make any sense. And we all
Not
joke
to us.
about it.
Not to us.
But maybe
But it was too easy.
I was thinking it's for maybe they're like pharmacists.
Okay.
And they've got really bad gut health.
Oh,
So they're coming down looking for like what probiotics we're using.
that makes sense. They're like, there's this weird creature on this weird planet way out way that has whatever protein mark. I'm like, are you serious? Are they intelligent? No, they're super dumb.
But they have excellent gut health.
They have amazing gut health.
Well, you'll have to go there and find out. Oh, we will.
Why do they have such good gut health? They drink water. They what? They drink water. That's bizarre. They wouldn't be able to make contact with us. Not for at least the next 100 years. I was thinking about this.
Uh-huh.
It's in the same vein as the butt probing.
Okay.
They can't make contact with us and go, hey, here's the rest of the universe and all the other species.
Is it because they're embarrassed about all the butt probing?
Well,
Like, oh god.
imagine trying to
That's
have
got to
to
be the first thing they're going to ask about, guys.
the
Let that die down.
the abduction and molestation.
Yeah.
That's going to be the real you guys are cool about all of that, right? We gave you like light speed travel. I don't know. There's a lot of people very upset about the butt probes.
Although, think about it, people still travel to Germany.
I don't know the reference and I'm not sure I want to. I'm very scared. Is there butt probing going on in Germany that I don't know about?
No. I mean, some of
Maybe.
their porn's pretty wild. No. As in, like, the whole Hitler Nazi thing. We all have not forgotten about it, but we're cool with Germany now.
Okay, so we just need to wait 2 alien generations until it's like, okay,
Everyone who was affected is dead. Yeah.
they bring out the paperwork. All right, guys, 70 years ago, we had new laws come in. No more butt probes. So are we
or
cool?
molestation or pregnancy. I'm pretty sure they did that. Oh my god, Jesus was an alien too.
That makes total sense.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. That all tracks beautifully with an alien
The
abduction.
Immaculate Conception.
Heck, yep.
Walking on water. Mm-hmm. Turns water into wine because they don't like to drink water.
Oh, wouldn't that be tragic? Like in a daytime movie way, where Joseph
Hallmark movie.
was like really, really upset with her for obviously going out. Like he was in love with this woman,
Yes.
and eventually she's pregnant. Wouldn't it be hilarious if the aliens actually harvested using a succubus, of course,
Naturally.
because they just work together.
It's just a simple system. Why would you try to do something different when something works?
Exactly. So they harvested his sperm and artificially inseminated her. So Jesus was his son all along.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, and he treated her really badly because he thought that she went outside of wedlock, blah blah blah.
Cheeky.
But it was actually his all along.
Oh, and because it's a Hallmark movie, in the end, he finds out and they're happy. Yay!
No, and if it was a British movie, Jesus would have already died. And he only finds out after it, and he's like, no.
If it's a Russian novel, they all die.
Everyone dies.
Everybody dies.
What is the moral of the story? You shouldn't care about anything. I think I got really Terminator just then.
It did a little bit. I like it. Oh, I had a thought, and then we ran off on that tangent, and I giggled so much, I think I laughed the thought out of my head.
That
It's
sometimes
gone
happens.
now. Oh my goodness.
To hamsters.
What?
I don't know.
The ideas rattle out of their head. Yeah. I just imagine the hamster tumbling off of the little wheel in the cage.
Yep.
Have you seen the video of the one that's trying to sleep and the other one just keeps running? He's like, and he's spinning around.
Yeah. But I was imagining that he's like running on track and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be working on this big project tomorrow and I've got to do this thing. And then they fall off and you're like, what was I doing?
What was I doing? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That is a very good analogy for me almost every day of my life. Almost every day.
We just have come back from Kmart, which if you're overseas is just a... Well, what would be the American
Walmart
equivalent?
Light?
Yeah, like a small Walmart.
Not as cool and creepy as Walmart.
Which we've never been to, so I've only ever seen the internet.
The pictures scare me though.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to go there.
But we did walk in there and Taz says to me, what are we here for? And I was like, I don't know, but you said we needed to go to Kmart. Neither of us could remember what we were there for. So we just wandered around the
We had to
store.
do half a lap before you saw
until
something.
we remembered.
And I still wouldn't have remembered. Oh my goodness.
But that's the way to do it. Don't let forgetfulness get in the way of a plan.
That's why I do the aisle by aisle when I'm grocery shopping. I'm like,
That's
I don't know what I need.
to us. We're going to be wandering around in the woods in West Virginia. What were we doing?
What were we doing? Look over at Bigfoot. Do you know what we're doing? No idea. Something, I don't know. Let me know if you think of it. Okay. He disappears. Where'd Bob go?
Hey, well remembered.
I'm trying to retrace my mental steps to think what it was, and it's gone.
So aliens, immaculate conception, because I interrupted you with Mary being artificially inseminated.
Joseph. Oh, I was just going to say, given the time frame in which Jesus was allegedly born, there's a very good chance that Joseph and Mary was an arranged marriage.
So she was like 14 and he was 52. That seems pretty much
something like that.
The order of the day.
So, if a particular disgruntled employee of a particular orbiting space station with observational duties with particular superpowers from a stolen briefcase or whatever cool futuristic case from this observation tower met this particular individual, said, you know what would really upset your organized marriage husband? What? A baby. What if Jesus is Lucifer's baby?
Whoa, that's so controversial. But that doesn't make any sense.
If by this point, this is a bit of a tangent, if by this point Lucifer's got into the whole, you know what, if they're going to paint me as a bad guy that causes, or even then he's still trying to organize chaos against either the human race or the observational tower. Because if the observation tower wants to observe the tampered with human story, what's the best way to get a whole bunch of people really angry? Create a religious messiah. This is going to really kick it off. So it's not that Jesus is evil. It's that Jesus was created by disgruntled employee Lucifer.
Okay, and then Jesus is actually Anakin in this story. Because
I'm even more interested now.
The other aliens were like, oh no, Lucifer / Chad has done it again. And they've stepped in Obi-Wan style.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we're like teaching him, no, we've got to be nice and everyone's got to be friends and everything's got to be great and lovely. So this is the messages you need to teach, okay? Yep. Okay. And he's like, yeah, I'm Jesus. I'm going to do the right thing. And he starts doing that and then he bumps into Lucifer who's like, you know what's really fun? Sex and drugs.
And
wine.
Everybody needs wine.
Wine's delicious. And now you can turn it into water into wine. And he's like, yeah. And then he becomes party Jesus. And that's where they're like, Pontius Pilate, could you do us a favor here? Just get the Romans in.
Party Jesus is why the whole story ended, because he got too cool for school.
Yep.
And they decided to take him out. The old, I don't have nails and hammer near me. Otherwise, I'd make like a hammering sound. Because he got crucified and killed.
Yeah.
It was very sad. It was very sad. It's very sad.
If it happened.
Although
many people were actually crucified. That was a punishment. And I feel sorry for them. Because that's a horrible way to go.
And the crosses were T's.
T is for turtle.
Yeah, they just had the top beam and center beam.
Do you remember that from South Park?
No. Is it? Because I've only seen like the first few seasons. I think after like 5th season, it was petering off for me, so I didn't watch a lot of it.
You remember how I think it's Officer Barbrady?
Yes.
He was an idiot.
Yes.
And I think they were burning crosses on one of the lawns.
I do remember that.
And he just drives past, looks at it, and goes, T is for turtle.
I do remember
and then
that.
Drives away. Like it's nothing.
Oh my God, he was so dumb.
It's been stuck in my head ever since.
And he was always witnessing like alien abductions of cows and stuff, and he was like, nothing to see here. And it's like, there's a saucer taking cows right now. Do you think?
I can't believe I remembered his name. That was years ago. Was that 10 years ago? 20?
I don't know how many satellites are actually orbiting the Earth. But I don't think it's as many as it's going to be. Because we don't get as much blockage of the stars and things, allegedly. Because obviously, being close to the city, we get a lot of light pollution, so we don't see that.
You're being very careful. We had some litigious things going on. Everything's very allegedly.
But did you read the article I sent you or tagged you in about Starlink?
No.
So, Mr. Elon Musk is sending up a metric butt ton of satellites as part of the Starlink network. And essentially, it's going to be very similar to Samuel L. Jackson's character in Kingsman, where he's going to basically give people, not free, but very cheap and fast telecommunication access. So he's going to essentially create a web of these satellites around the Earth to get crazy fast internet. So his plan is, by the end of 2020... to have...
If he doesn't turn into a sweet, sweet Bond villain, I'm going to be very disappointed in him.
I'm kind of hoping for it too.
Yeah.
I feel like...
He is the Bond villain we deserve.
Yeah, he's the Bond villain we deserve and need. Because, yes, we're already basically sheep. I would like to be a sheep with a really fast internet connection, please.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was thinking more along the lines of, like, he would be shooting... Because he's very into environmental protection.
Yes.
Like, he'd be shooting lasers from space into, like, whaling ships. And
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a villain, but you're like, oh, but he's ours. You know? He's our villain.
I will eat bland, flavorless protein bricks and wear a grey uniform for the rest of my life if it means I have fast internet. I'll do it. I'll live in a utilitarian society run by Overlord Musk.
But why won't he dictate what's on the internet? And perhaps it's only like cat videos and, you know.
I think he's too smart to start a revolution like that.
I'm addicted to those making videos where they make miniature things. What's with that? Why does my brain love that so much? For 10 minutes, I watched a video of a man make tiny, tiny little miniature clay pots.
I think it just throws back to like that little spark in the human brain that allowed us to advance beyond the other animals. We like to create things from things.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching the guy that lives out in the forest creating himself a hut. I'm like, I would never do it, but it's cool to watch.
Oh, when they make their
minutes.
own pool with slime and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, I love that.
I love watching all that, where they make their own little kilns to make bricks, and you're like,
It's
what?
because we're now in a society where we don't make anything anymore.
No.
Like, okay, you do, because you at least have your cosplay stuff.
I love it.
You do love
It's the
that.
same thing. Like, creating something is super fun and satisfying. So, like, there's this thing I made.
Anything.
Make some stuff. We got the craft room.
True.
Welcome to Kram Bamble, a podcast about crafting.
No, well, this actually ties in well, because I was thinking about doing little horror dioramas.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Because you know how much I do love all that horror stuff. So, like,
Yes.
make tiny cemeteries.
That sounds cool.
You know, I don't know, just like tiny little dioramas. And then you can put a little, I think they're called a kosh, you know, those,
Oh, gosh.
yeah, those glass domes.
Oh, is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow, I'm
That's
learning
what
so many
it's
new words
called.
today.
I think, or koi.
Do you want to make little horror snow globes, but replace it with blood or ash?
Ooh.
Ash. That's pretty cool. I like this idea.
Yeah. Or just make it with the snow is actually like black.
You could make little horror terrariums as well. So you could have your little tiny
Well, that's what I was meaning with the
trees
dioramas. So
and have
it
a
would
little
be
gravestone stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that. That sounds cool.
All right. I think I will.
Get into it. There's probably like 1,000,001 books on Amazon too where you can like purchase it to get started on building little
Probably
things.
use a lot of the D&D stuff,
Yeah, I'd say so.
you know, because they've got all the grasses and the trees.
Oh, like the
and-
flocking and stuff? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go, listeners. If you start seeing dioramas on the is it Krambamble Kirsten? Yeah, on my Instagram.
Kirsten Krambamble? I can't remember.
I think
who
it's
it is.
Krambamble Kirsten.
I need to put the link in the description because I haven't done that. I've done that for our Twitter.
Krambamble Kirsten on Instagram.
There you go. It'll be a mid-podcast plug. I almost couldn't say that properly. A mid-podcast plug.
But, I mean, it's also a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, so you'll see our setup, what we get up to when we're not podcasting.
Our fancy new IKEA desk and creepy boggle-eyed owl.
Yep.
So if you do have any supernatural shower thoughts or conspiracy theory questions, send them to krambamblepodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow Kirsten Krambamble on Instagram.
Other way around, Krambamble Kirsten.
Krambamble Kirsten on Instagrams, apologies. And also the Twitter, which is just Krambamble, 2 words. Be sure to jump into there. Also, if you are listening to this on the iTunes podcast store, please go ahead and give us a nice rating and review. It really helps get the word out there and some more listeners. I almost said viewers. I keep doing that.
They could be viewing it. Maybe they're just staring at our logo.
Share the podcast with your friends and family. Throw it up on the Facebook. Shout out to my boy Nathan, who threw episode 7 up onto his Facebook for people to have a look at and listen to. It's nice
nice.
to see a little bit of community support going on there. Love you, bro.
Shout out to my entire extended family who have been sharing and liking it as well. And I'm sorry, Mum, for all the swearing and sexual allusions.
I do like the swears. I don't think I've actually sworn this
No,
episode.
you haven't. You better throw one in there, otherwise...
Oh, shit.
There we go.
Done.
That actually sounded like you.
We can keep that explicit rating.
Yes, exactly. Oh, they're edgy.
I gotta earn that E, guys. He didn't even swear this episode. I'm giving him a negative review.
Butts and farts and stuff.
We do also throw the episodes up on YouTube. We put them a month behind just for anyone who does use YouTube for podcasts, because I know that I do.
Me too.
Makes it a little bit easier because if you've got YouTube Premium, which I don't think a lot of people do actually, you can listen to it.
Really? Are we the only people using YouTube
I've seen a lot of
Premium?
memes where people make fun of people with YouTube YouTube Premium. I'm doing well today, guys. I need more caffeine.
Remember when they tried to call it like YouTube Red?
I do remember it was too close to the other one.
So close.
But yeah. I got a free Google Home Nest Mini or whatever it's called.
To thank you for being
thank me for being a member of YouTube Premium.
I didn't claim it, but they offered me one.
Can you still claim it?
Don't know.
We can put one in every room of the house.
Yeah. They're pretty cool. We've been using it a lot lately.
We were asking lots of questions about actors and what age they are.
We were. And if it was safe to visit Russia.
Some areas.
It was very tactful.
It was very tactful. Yeah. It's a nice little learning program. But we got tangented, but that brings me right back. So Starlink. So my point was, the plan is they're going to send up like 120 satellites or little connectors a month.
Yep.
They're like just spamming them up there to essentially give a full link. And you have essentially like a little antenna for your home that then connects that internet. And he described it as looking like a flying saucer on a stick. And so you set it, you aim it at the sky, and it corrects itself and adjusts to pick up the signal from whatever the closest satellite or direct line satellite is, and connects like a digital net around the world to give you insanely fast internet.
Uh-huh. I was just thinking, I was like, oh, are the US okay with him pumping out the... Wait a minute, the US don't own the sky.
They don't own
No one owns the sky.
You can't take the sky from me.
Oh my God. But I'm like, there must be 1,000,001, like, China and Russia just going, excuse me, what? You're going to be doing what?
Yeah.
And there's no one to stop him because no one owns our outer atmosphere.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Very cool.
Weren't they just like, isn't there a whole bunch of trash up there though?
Yes, I remember hearing about that too.
So why don't they just get ripped to shreds?
Well, it's essentially, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So it's going to be, for all intents and purposes, a whole bunch of litter around the planet. So there's concerns that it's actually going to block out a lot of constellations that you would normally be able to see because of that.
No.
But also,
the astronomers are going to be pinged.
The Alien Observation Station. Alien Observation Station?
That's a great name. Why did they call it that? I think it's SETI, isn't it?
Somebody name your band that.
Intelligence?
If you've got a band, name it Alien Observation Station.
Alien Observation
Their
Station.
view is going to be constantly blocked.
Alien Observation. Sorry.
Their view is going to be constantly blocked unless they're able to use a VPN to get into the Starlink system. They just use all the cameras.
Listening now more
They probably
than anything else.
Shout out to Clark.
Oh.
What is Clark from? I think that's from
Futurama?
Adventure Zone.
Oh.
I think that's the bugbear in the first arc. Clark.
No one's going to know what you're talking about, so...
All the cool people will.
Yeah.
All the cool people will.
Fair enough.
So yes, I definitely think that Lucifer was an alien.
You think he's still around, kicking around? You think they're immortal aliens?
I think it gets handed down. I think it either gets handed down to, like, the sun, which is why it always seems to shift and change what the priorities for quote-unquote evil and temptation are. And
maybe he's like Elon Musk right now. Maybe he's...
That makes sense.
Well, it makes sense because someone prophesized... I know you don't believe me at all, but I reckon that the chips in people's hands are a sign of the beast, and maybe the guy that invented those chips is the descendant of Lucifer.
Do you know what the French word for the beast is?
No.
La bête.
Okay.
It doesn't sound as scary.
No.
Lucifer, la bête.
No.
It sounds like, oh, he sounds cool.
He does.
I want to hang out with la bête, Lucifer.
Oh. Actually, even in a French accent, Lucifer sounds sexy.
Lucifer.
Ooh.
Well, Lucifer probably is the sexiest. Or the temptation.
Oh, true. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's that show. And he's pretty... I don't know. He's not my cup of tea, but he's someone's.
Well, he's got
I
fancy
can
suits.
Yeah.
He's got fancy suits, which seems to be the prerequisite.
It needs to be a little bit more buff for my liking.
What if... So if we go with the possibility that the
angel
crown...
was hot. Sorry.
Oh,
Ezekiel? No.
Oh, what is his name?
Amenadiel.
He was the principal in Buffy.
No.
He was the principal. After the first, Weasley principal gets killed by vampires or something, they bring in the second principal. Yeah, buff black principal, that's him. Same dude.
Nice.
He has not aged.
They don't.
He's just...
Principals, I mean. That wasn't a racial thing.
Principals don't age. That dude eats his greens, I'm telling you what. Because he... And that was...
Although they do say black don't crack.
20 years ago. That was 20 years ago, that show.
Wow.
If not more.
Even Oprah looks really good.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle's doing really well.
Yeah, he does look great. Actually, all of the... Will Smith.
Still
Always. Looking beautiful.
Yes. It's that Hollywood diet. When you can afford to get ridiculously healthy food.
No, think of they also don't get a whole bunch of work done. I think that's the issue.
True.
The white celebrities who've aged badly, they just...
Plastic goes brittle in the sun, yo.
But the ones who age gracefully are stunning. Like, think of, Helen Mirren or my favourite Judi Dench.
True.
She just looks more and more just lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all the ones that stay in England so they get less sun exposure.
That makes sense. That's why we live in the dark.
I love it in the dark.
I have a tan, everyone, for the first time in 10, 15 years. And it's literally just on my hands and feet.
You got the truck driver tan?
I do. Oh, actually, yeah, I've got a trucky tan.
Trucky tan.
Because it's too hot to wear a long sleeve shirt outside, so I've been wearing t-shirts, and now I have slightly tanned arms.
Impressive.
No, I hate it. I don't like a tan.
You look less like... now you can pass among the mortals. You look less like a vampire.
Oh, man. Even my brother said to me, we went to the beach over Christmas, and my brother said to me, you need to get a tan. That's just
not bursting
wrong.
into flames?
Yeah. He's like, there's white, and then there's blue white, where you can almost see, you're almost translucent. You can see your veins. He's like, you're that white.
That's the Scandi in you.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not much. I think I've only got 11% Swedish.
It's a decent amount.
Yeah.
That's 10%. That's 10%.
Yeah. Predominantly British, which is pretty boring.
If the devil passes down the mantle, whether it be hereditary or promoting the next person, which I don't know the word for that system of government where they hand something down that is normally hereditary. I believe there is a word for it.
Nepotism.
Is that what it is?
When you pass on something to someone who's related to you.
I mean, if it's not blood relation.
Oh.
Any case. Apprenticeship, something like that.
Okay.
Obviously they're going to have, or potentially they're going to have different values and different kind of plans or goals. So the last 200 years, it's really kicked off for humanity, but the world's also not doing so great. What if this is part of the new plan? It's like, I'm going to wipe the slate clean. I'm a big fan of dolphins, and I want them to rule.
Actually, I was reading somewhere the other day that dolphins have more sort of connections in their brains than humans do, and whales. They have more grey matter, there's more connection, more synapses. They might just be even better at thinking than we are. Why aren't the aliens abducting them? I suppose a blue whale would be pretty obvious.
If the aliens are abducting dolphins, how would we know?
True. Although that said, when we want to test stuff, we use fruit flies. Fruit flies are fantastic to test on.
Really?
You'd be surprised if you go online and see that. That's like our new guinea pigs. We test so much stuff on fruit flies. So maybe we're like the fruit fly. You don't test it on the guinea pig or the hamster and stuff.
Yep.
Because that's the way they've got around all this PETA anti-testing on animals thing. Mm-hmm. Is it's cool, we'll just use insects.
Makes sense.
Because no one's going to be upset because they're not fluffy and cute.
True.
Yeah. So they can test on fruit flies, and that way, they can get things passed.
Gotcha.
But maybe we are the fruit flies. So they're like, oh, we don't want to eat. Maybe there was a petition with all the aliens. Like, stop testing on the beautiful whales and the dolphins. Test on these shitty things we don't care about.
These creatures that are overpopulated.
Well, haven't they always said that we're like the cockroaches?
We're like fire ants.
We're actually so much worse because even though they're adaptable, like we've adapted our surroundings for ourselves.
We're like the crazy ants on that island that has the red crabs. And they're just like killing the red crabs in swaths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's 30 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That zoomed by. And I do love, okay, granted it was my fault, how our episode that ostensibly was supposed to be about aliens turned very quickly into religion.
I don't think we've actually... Oh, we've had one episode that stayed completely on one topic, and that was the ghost one.
Yeah, no,
I think everything else has kind of bounced around, and I think the viewers appreciate that, because...
Well, that's how the way our brains work these days.
I'm telling the viewers to appreciate it. You better appreciate it.
They do.
They do. This has been Kram Bamble. My name's Taz.
And I'm Kirsten.
And we shall catch you next time.